Hello students, this is Asma Babwani and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll explain you Social Science of Grade 7 Chapter 8 Medieval Architecture. So students, let's start the chapter. All activities of man are usually done to gain happiness along with earning an income. Rulers, feudal lords and people from royal families gained a lot of pleasure from various arts. Literature, painting, music, dance, and architecture please all. Financially sound people constructed different structures to achieve fame, for contentment, for the welfare of the society, for faith, so that others could utilize them and seek pleasure. Most of these structures constructed possessed specific characteristic of that particular era. They became exemplary works of art. Hence, they no longer remained private, but became public properties. Thus, the style in which a building is designed and constructed, especially with regard to a specific period, place, or culture, is known as architecture. Gujarat too saw many such architectural splendors being constructed during varied eras. Let us now learn about the medieval architecture of India. Students, man carries out most of his activities either to earn money or gain happiness. Similarly, in the past, most of the kings and feudal lords indulged in various arts to gain happiness. The various arts they indulged into were literature, pictures, music, dance, painting, as well as architecture. Kings constructed different structures to gain fame or satisfy the needs of their people. The purpose behind building magnificent buildings was that others could utilize them and be happy. Such constructions were worth seeing. They also give us an idea of the lifestyle of the era in which they were built. With time, these properties do not remain private, they become public properties. The style in which a building is designed and constructed, especially with regard to a specific period or culture, is known as architecture. Somnath Temple. The Somnath Temple is located in Prabhas Patan near Veraval in Junagadh, Saurashtra on the western coast of Gujarat. It is one of the 12 Jyotirlinga shrines of Lord Shiva. It was one of the most ancient, prosperous, and important pilgrimage centers of Shaivism. Currently, only the site of the old temple is seen. The construction of the new temple was completed by 1951. Students, Somnath is considered to be one of the most ancient, prosperous, and important centers of Shaivism. It is one of the 12 pious Jyotirlings of India. It is located in Prabhas Patan in Junagadh district of Gujarat state. Today, one can see some ruins of the old temple. However, a new huge Somnath temple was constructed in 1951. Dwarkadish Temple. Dwarka is situated in Jamnagar district near the coast of Gujarat on the northern banks of river Gomti. Constructed in the 13th century, the temple became part of the Char Dham Haridham pilgrimage considered sacred by Hindus in India. It consists of the four-armed deity of Lord Krishna within the Garbhagriha inner sanctum and a Mahamandapa big prayer hall. One has to climb 80 steps to attain entry into this temple. Its shikhar rises to 6 stories. The mandapa is a 5-storied structure built on 60 pillars. The temple has rich carvings on its outer walls, but the interiors are relatively plain. There is a matha of Srimad Shankaracharya near the temple. Adi Shankaracharya, the 8th century reformer and philosopher, had set up mathas in all the four corners of India, and the Dwarkadish temple is one of the Shardapit set up by him. Students, Dwarka is located on the west coast of Gujarat near the banks of river Gomti on the northern side of Jamnagar district. It is one of the four Haridham pilgrimage centers. It is believed that Lord Krishna set up the city of Dwarka and the temple located there. The Dwarkadish temple was constructed in the 13th century. It is also known as Jagat Mandir, Temple of the World. The temple is a part of the Char Dham or Haridham pilgrimage. Dwarkadish is a huge temple with a Garbhagriha, a big meeting hall, and the Mahamandapa. The temple is situated at a height of 80 steps. The pinnacle, that is Shikhar, of the temple rises to 6 stories. The outer walls of the temples are beautifully carved. The inner walls are plain. On the opposite side of the temple is a huge 5 storied mandapa built on 60 pillars. There is an idol of four-armed Lord Krishna in the temple inside the Garbhagriha, that is the inner sanctum. Also, there is a Mahamandapa, that is a big prayer hall inside the temple. There is a matha of Srimad Shankaracharya near the temple. The 8th century reformer and philosopher Adi Shankaracharya had also set up mathas in all the 4 corners of India, and the Dwarkadish temple is one of them. It is known as Sharda Pit of Adi Shankaracharya. Things to know. The town of Dwarka is situated on the banks of river Gomti, which is to the western coast of Gujarat. Set up by Lord Sri Krishna, it is dedicated to Lord Krishna, who is worshipped here by the name of Dwarkadish or King of Dwarka. The Dwarkadish temple is also known as the Jagat Mandir World Temple. The Sun Temple of Modhera. The Sun Temple of Modhera in Mehsana district of Gujarat is a temple dedicated to the Hindu sun god Surya. It is built in 1026 to 1027 CE by King Bhimdev I of the Solanki dynasty. The Sun Temple has a unique architectural design constructed on a high plinth. The temple comprises of 3 separate and integrated elements: Garbhagriha, that is an inner sanctum, a Pradakshina path, and a Sabha Mandapa, that is a assembly hall. The mandapa in front of the sanctum has 52 beautifully carved pillars depicting the tales of Ramayana and Mahabharata and representing the 52 weeks of the year. Exquisite toranas adorn the entrances. The exterior of this temple is intricately carved. This temple has been designed in such a way that the sun's rays illuminate the sanctum at dawn during the time of the equinoxes, Sharad and Vasant months. The Surya Kund, that is pool, a rectangular stepped tank at the entrance of the temple, has exemplary geometric features with innumerable stone steps and 108 miniature shrines chiseled between these steps. Surya Kund is a site to be captured and treasured. The center of attraction for historians and architects, alike the Modhera Sun Temple, located on the west of the Tropic of Cancer, is similar in many respects to the Karnak Sun Temple, situated to the east of the tropic. Students, the Sun Temple is located in Mehsana district of Gujarat state. It is located on the west of Tropic of Cancer and dedicated to Hindu sun god Surya. It shares a special relation with the Sun Temple of Karnak located in the eastern part of India. The Sun Temple of Modhera was built in 1026 to 1027 AD during the reign of King Bhimdev. In terms of carving and architecture, this temple holds a special position among the heritage temples of India. The temple is in octave shape. Its entrance has beautiful torans. The temple is located on a high platform. The temple can be divided into 3 parts. First is Garbhagriha, which is also called inner sanctum, Pradakshina Path, and Sabha Mandapa, which is called assembly hall. The mandapa is in front of the Garbhagriha and it has 52 beautifully carved pillars. They represent the 52 weeks of the year. They depict the tales of Ramayana and Mahabharata. The entire temple has been carved minutely. Its outer walls have been carved with beautiful paintings. The temple has been constructed in such a manner that the rays of the sun pass across the entire Sabha Mandapa in the Sharad and Vasant months and fall directly on the Garbhagriha. There is a rectangular tank at the entrance of the temple. It is called Surya Kund. There are stone steps leading inside the tank. Among these steps are 108 miniature carved shrines. The Surya Kund is a beautiful in itself. The Sun Temple is a major center of attraction for historians and architects. This is why Sun Temple is considered as one of the best architectures of India. The Modhera Sun Temple is similar in many respects to the Karnak Sun Temple, which is situated on the east of the Tropic of Cancer. Rudra Mahalya. Rudra Mahalya is a historical monument located in Siddhapur in Patan district on the banks of Saraswati River in the northern Gujarat. This magnificent temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva, called as the Rudra Mahalya, was constructed by Mulraj Solanki and then completed by Sri Siddharaj Jai Singh, the then ruler of Patan. The temple was an architectural wonder with a three-story shikara, 1600 pillars, 12 entrance doors, central mandapa, and porches on the east, north, and south, and sanctum in the west. Around the temple there were 11 shrines of Rudra. The eastern gate was adorned with beautifully carved toran with a flight of steps leading to the Saraswati river. The ornamentation of the temple was exuberant as shown by the elaborate and detailed carvings of the pillars and the beautiful toran which are the only remains of the temple today. Students, Rudra Mahalya is nothing but a ruin today. This huge temple located in Siddhapur in Patan in North Gujarat has remained one of the best, grand, and unique architectures in its time. Rudra Mahalya's ruins speak the story of its grandeur and beauty. Its construction was started by Mulraj Solanki and completed by Siddharaj Jai Singh. It was dedicated to Lord Shiva. Shiva is also called Rudra. The temple is known as Rudra Mahalya. The temple consisted of assembly hall, other halls, various stories and balconies, numerous pillars, carved torans, etc. The temple has a three-story dome that is shikhar, 1600 pillars, 12 entrance gates, a central mandapa, assembly hall, a sanctum in the west, and porches in the east, north, and south. There are 11 shrines of Lord Shiva around the temple. One of the gates located in the east was carved with beautiful toran. It has steps leading to the Saraswati river. The temple was one of the most prosperous ones in its time. However, with time it was destroyed and today only the ruins remain. Palitana. The Palitana temples of Jains are located on Shatrunjaya Hills, 51 or 60 km southwest of Bhavnagar, Gujarat. There are approximately 863 temples starting from the peak to the base of the Shatrunjaya Hills. The Palitana temples, constructed in marble and white stone, are considered to be one of the most sacred pilgrimage centers by the Jains. Every devout Jain aspires to climb to the top of the mountain at least once in his lifetime because of its sanctity to attain nirvana. The temple is associated with Bhagwan Rishabdev, the first Tirthankar, who is known as Adinath. It has ornate architectural motifs, and the interior of the temples is intricately carved with ceilings that have geometrical lace designs. The sculptures that adorn the marble temples present a feast to the eyes. Sri Hemchandracharya, Siddharaj Jai Singh, Kumar Pal, and generations of Jains from all over the country had contributed to the best of their capacity to make Shatrunjaya Hill. Students, Palitana, a big Jain pilgrimage center, is located on the Shatrunjaya Hill, 51 to 60 kilometers southwest from Bhavnagar. Palitana is one of the main pilgrim centers of the Jains. This place is the symbol of faith for Jains. Most Jains visit Palitana at least once in a lifetime. It is believed that the pilgrimage of Palitana is the way to attain nirvana for Jains. There are 863 temples on this hill. The main temple is dedicated to the first Jain Tirthankar god Lord Adinath, also called Rishabdev. It is constructed with white marble. The main temple has ornamental architecture motifs. The interior of the temple is beautifully carved. The ceiling has geometrical lace designs. The overall construction of the temples of Palitana is very artistic. The carvings are very beautiful. These temples are so pious that they win the heart of the pilgrims. These temples were built with the help of Acharya Hemchandracharya, Siddharaj Jaisingh, Kumar Pal, and many other generations of Jains. Siddhi Sayyad Jali. The Siddhi Sayyad Mosque is one of the most famous mosques of Ahmedabad, located near Lal Darwaza. It was built by Siddhi Sayyad or Siddhi Sayyad, a general in the army of the last Sultan Shamsuddin Muzaffar Shah III of the Gujarat Sultanate. The mosque is entirely arcaded and is famous for beautifully carved stone lattice work windows, that is jalis, on the side and rear arches. The rear wall is filled with square stone pierced panels in geometrical designs. The two bays flanking the central aisle have stone slabs carved in designs of intertwined trees and foliage and a palm motif. Students, the Siddhi Sayyad Jali is near Lal Darwaza in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. It is a uniquely carved grill on the stone wall of a mosque. It was constructed by Siddhi Sayyad, the general of the army of Shamsuddin Muzaffar Shah III. The design of the grill is very unique. There are patterns of tangled branches of a tree and geometrical figures in it. Kakaria Lake. Kakaria Lake is the biggest lake in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. It is located in the southern part of the city in Maninagar area. Kakaria Lake was built by Sultan Qutbuddin and was known as Qutub Hoj or Hoj-e-Qutub then. Today, it is known as the Kakaria Lake. It is a popular recreational center and is surrounded by parks, Balvatika, children's gardens, a boat club, natural history museum, and a zoo. We have learnt about the various architectural monuments of Gujarat. Now, we shall study about medieval architectural styles of the Chola dynasty, the Delhi Sultanate, and the Mughal Empire. Students, Qutbuddin Aibak constructed a lake in Maninagar area of Ahmedabad during the Sultanate age. The lake was called Hoj-e-Qutub or Qutub Hoj. Later, the lake became famous as Kakaria Lake. Today, Kakaria is a place of tourist interest due to its recreational activities like children's gardens, a boat club, natural history museum, a zoo, and numerous parks like the Balvatika. Architecture of the Delhi Sultanate. Advent of the Turks influenced every aspect of the Indian culture. In architecture, Turkish rule paved the way for the development of the Indo-Islamic style, which blended the Arabic, Persian, that is Iranian, and Indian styles. There was extensive use of domes and arcs and minarets. The monuments of the Sultanate age were decorated with geometrical and floral designs, besides some Indian motifs like the lotus and the bell. Students, very unique kind of construction was done in Delhi during the Sultanate age. They were influenced by the Turkish culture. A new type of architecture called the Indo-Islamic style was born. The buildings were constructed by combining Indian, Arabic and Persian, that is Iranian style. Buildings were constructed by mixing lime powder and bricks. For the first time, arcs, minarets and domes were constructed in buildings during the Sultanate age. The buildings were decorated with lines, geometrical shapes, flowers, leaves, and creepers, and Indian motifs like lotus and bell. Qutub Minar. The Qutub Minar of Delhi was commissioned by Qutbuddin Aibak, the first Sultan of Delhi, and was completed by his successor Iltutmish. A five-story building, the minar is made of red sandstone and covered with intricate carvings and verses from the Quran. It is the tallest tower of its kind in India. Students, Qutub Minar is the tallest architectural monument of India. It is in Delhi and it is a five-story building. The construction of Qutub Minar was started by Qutbuddin Aibak and however it was completed by Iltutmish. The minar is made of red sandstone and it is covered with intricate carvings and verses from the Quran. Dhai Din Ka Jhopda. It is the first mosque of India constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak in Delhi. Students, Chopra is the oldest surviving monument in Ajmer, situated in Rajasthan in India. It was designed by Abu Bakr of Herat and constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak in 1192 CE. This mosque is an example of early Indo Islamic architecture. It is an example of Indo Islamic architecture, and most of the building was constructed by Hindu masons. And later on, this structure was beautified by Iltutmish of Delhi in 1213 CE. Architecture of the Chola dynasty. Among the ruling dynasties of South India, Cholas in particular were great patrons of art and architecture. They built many temples at Tanjore, Mahabalipuram, Mamallapuram, and Kachi. They promoted the Dravidian style of architecture with its multi storied pyramid like tower called the Vimana with lofty gopurams. The interior had pillared assembly halls called mandapas, and the main deity was kept in the sanctum Garbhagriha. Students, the Cholas who ruled over South India were great lovers of art and architecture. They built many temples at Tanjore, Mahabalipuram, Mamallapuram, and Kachi. The Cholas carried out the construction work in Dravid style. The Cholas built huge temples on high plinths which were supported by divided planes, that is mandapa, and numerous pillars. The temples were built in multi-storied pyramid tower type structure called the Vimana. The interior of the temple had an assembly hall with lots of pillars called mandapa. The inner sanctum where the main deity was kept was called Garbhagriha. The temples had huge artistic entrance gates which were known as gopurams. The campus of the temples were covered with high walls. Brudeshwar Temple. The Brudeshwar or the Raja Rajeshwar temple called the Big Temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. It was built by the great Chola king one in Tanjore. Beautiful Chola fresco paintings adorn the inner walls of the temple, one of the outstanding temples in South India. The Brudeshwar temple is the Chola dynasty's finest contribution to Dravidian temple architecture. What makes the construction so unique is the variation from the usual temple building style of having a tall gopura and smaller vimbara. Students, the Brideshwar temple, also referred as Raja Rajeshwar temple, is dedicated to Lord Shiva. It is in Tanjore. It was built by great Chola king I. It has been built in Dravidian style. There are beautiful Chola fresco paintings on the inner walls of the temple. The temple is a very unique one owing to its taller gopuram and smaller vimana as compared to other temples. Architecture of the Mughal period. A new tradition of architecture started during the Mughal era. The monuments were constructed on high plinths. Marble was mostly used as construction material, and flowing water in the form of fountains were extensively used. Besides marble, colored precious and semi precious stones were used to decorate the buildings. Students, Mughals were very fond of grand architecture. They had their own unique tradition of architecture. They used to construct palaces on high plinths. They used flowing water in the form of fountains in their building. And most of the Mughal architecture was made out of marble and decorated with precious and semi precious colored stones. Fatehpur Sikri. After his military victories over Chittor and Ranthambore, Akbar decided to shift his capital from Agra to a new location on the Sikri Ridge to honor the Sufi saint Salim Chishti. Here, he commenced the construction of a planned walled city and constructed a series of royal palaces, courts, a mosque, private quarters, and other utility buildings. He named the city Fatehabad with Fateh meaning victorious. It was later called Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri is one of the best preserved collections of Mughal architecture in India. Students, after conquering Chittor and Ranthambore forts, Akbar decided to shift his capital from Agra to a new place called Sikri. This was due to his honor for Sufi saint Salim Chishti. He named the city as Fatehabad. Fateh means victory, and later on this city came to be known as Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar has built a well-planned walled city in Fatehpur. There are a number of royal palaces, private quarters, courts, utility buildings, and a mosque at Fatehpur. Fatehpur Sikri is a living example of the rich Mughal architecture in India. Buland Darwaza. Buland Darwaza or the lofty gateway was built by the great Mughal Emperor Akbar at Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar built the Buland Darwaza as a victory arch to commemorate his successful Gujarat campaign. The Buland Darwaza was set into the south wall of Congregational Mosque, the Jama Masjid at Fatehpur Sikri. The darwaza rises to a height of 55 meters and is topped by pillars and chhatris. It is one of the most famous Islamic structure in Fatehpur Sikri and echoes the early Mughal design with simple ornamentation. The carved verses from the Quran and soaring arcs. Panch Mahal is another notable five-story building in Fatehpur Sikri with excellent architectural designs. Students, the Buland Darwaza and a five-storied palace, Panch Mahal, are two important buildings of Fatehpur Sikri. Buland Darwaza was built by Mughal Emperor Akbar at Fatehpur Sikri. It is a victory arch that symbolizes Akbar's conquer of Gujarat. It is 55-meter high. It is on the south wall of Jama Masjid at Fatehpur Sikri. It has lots of pillars and chhatris, that is carved umbrella type structures, and it is clearly influenced by early Mughal architecture. The gate is not very ornamental, but it has carved verses from the Quran and magnificent arcs. Buland Darwaza is one of the most famous Islamic structures of Fatehpur Sikri. Red Fort. The Red Fort was built as the fortified family palace of Shah Jahanabad, capital of the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. The Red Fort is considered to represent the zenith of Mughal creativity under Shah Jahan and consists of another important structures such as the Diwan-e-Am, Diwan-e-Khas, Moti Masjid, Hayat Bakhsh Bagh, and Rang Mahal. Students, the Red Fort was built by Shah Jahan. It was built as the fortified family palace of Shah Jahanabad, the then capital of Shah Jahan. The main sites inside the fort are Diwan-e-Am, Moti Masjid, Diwan-e-Khas, Rang Mahal, and Hayat Bakhsh Bagh. It represents the glory and the creativity of Mughal kings. Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal is a white marble mausoleum located in Agra, Uttar Pradesh in India. It was built by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his third wife Mumtaz Mahal. Taj Mahal is regarded as the finest example of Mughal architecture and is considered as one of the seven wonders of the world. The Taj Mahal is widely recognized as the jewel of Muslim art in India and one of the universally admired masterpieces of the world's heritage. Masons, stonecutters, inlayers, carvers, painters, calligraphers, dome builders, and other artisans were requisitioned from the whole of the empire to work on the structure. The white marble has been polished to emphasize the exquisite detailing of the carvings, and archways have been inlaid with semi precious stones. Architecture was an emblem of power. Numerous outsiders invaded India and created architectural styles reflective of their ancestral and adopted homes. As a result, many artists got an opportunity to showcase their talent and skill. Hence, not only was their need for name and fame met, but they also earned a handsome livelihood. The people, too, whatever the era, benefited through such splendorous structures. Thus, we should be grateful to rulers and emperors who, in their quest for quenching the thirst towards creative excellence, motivated and inspired the subjects, generated a source of income, and benefited the society indirectly. Students, the Taj Mahal was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the memory of his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal. This Mughal monument stands among one of the seven wonders of the world. It is a magnificent piece of art because of its marvelous white marble, minute carving, grandeur, inlay work with semi precious stones, the special artistic work, and the highly skilled ornamentation. This monument is among the most artistic monuments of India. The Taj is recognized as the jewel of Muslim art in India. It has been praised worldwide as a masterpiece of world's heritage. Masons, stonecutters, inlayers, carvers, painters, calligraphers, dome builders, and other artisans from across the world were called to work on the Taj Mahal. It is visited by lakhs of tourists every year. It is one of the seven wonders of the world. Think, There are roads today to reach Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri, Jamnotri, etc. How did the people of old times go to such places? Students, in the olden times, people used to go to such places by walking on Kacha Road. Students, here we end our chapter 8, Medieval Architecture. Students, if you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe the channel Asma Babwani. Click on the bell icon to get the latest updates. Like the videos, share the videos, and do comment on all the videos.